Do not move to Sonoma County. Before watching this video, I'm going to be going over some things you definitely want to make sure you are aware of before making the move. What's up, guys? My name is Danny M. Cronin, and if this is your very first time to my channel, please consider hitting the subscribe button. I drop a video once a week, every single week, all having to do with living in Sonoma County. And of course, I am a full-time real estate agent right here in Santa Rosa. So if you have any real estate related questions at all, feel free to call me, text me, email me, whatever is most convenient for you. And with that out of the way, let's get into the video. Okay, so the first thing you want to pay attention to is the expenses when it comes to Sonoma County. A lot of people that are relocating here and that are reaching out to me are people coming from different states, and oftentimes people don't really understand just how expensive it is. I'm going to go over a couple median sale prices here in Sonoma County in the cities that are most popular. In Santa Rosa, our median sold price is $690,000. Sonoma, median price $880,000. Healdsburg, median sale price $900,000. And Sebastopol, $1.1 million. Now, I know what you're telling yourself, God, that is so expensive. How does anybody do it? And do not let those numbers fool you. In Santa Rosa, you can still find single family homes around the $500,000 and $600,000 mark. Will they be starter homes? Yes, absolutely. Can you find condos even cheaper than that? Absolutely. But for the most part, the media really likes to push this narrative that it is almost impossible to live in Sonoma County when that simply is just not the case. Name another place you can have the beauty of California, but can also buy a $300,000 to $400,000 condo / townhome to get you to start building a little bit of equity before you buy that dream home. Number 2 on the list, home insurance is hard to get, all thanks to the 2017 Tubbs fires. A lot of the main insurance companies relocated out of the area. They're not writing policies in Sonoma County anymore, but it is still possible to get it. It's just something you definitely have to plan for if you're thinking about making a move here. My suggestion is call some companies here locally in Sonoma County. If you have an idea of where you want to live and what that home looks like, that should be all the insurance company needs to get you some sort of quote before actually making the move here. So home insurance, it's a problem. It's hard to get. I remember pre-2017, it wasn't too hard to find home insurance here. All it took was 1 or 2 phone calls to kind of compare some numbers, get a couple different quotes, and then on you went with a home insurance policy that financially made sense for you. But nowadays, it's a little bit different. And the thing that really helps us out on this to determine if the home is in a high fire risk area is what's called the NHD report. That's the natural hazard disclosure that we get throughout the escrow process, and it's going to tell us if the home is in a high fire area, low fire area, so on and so forth. But all the research should be done prior to that. You don't want to be getting into escrow, figuring out your home is going to be hard to insure, and then we have to cancel escrow and back out of the deal. So do your research, find some areas and some homes you would like to live in, call some insurance companies and see if they'll even give you a quote. A lot of these companies will not. Some will. So definitely want to do your research on that, and also make sure it's going to fit your budget, because not only was insurance harder to get nowadays than it was back in the day, it's also a little bit more expensive. Number 3, get pre-approved early and often. You definitely want to make sure you have your finances in order before relocating here. I see people all the time that watch these videos that reach out. They say, Danny, I'm super excited. I'm going to make a move there. They get here, they rent a home for a little bit, or maybe they're in a little Airbnb, and then they go to a lender. They try to get pre-approved. They either can't get pre-approved at all, or they can't get pre-approved for the number that they wanted. Maybe they were thinking they were going to be able to buy an $800,000 home. Turns out they only get pre-approved for $600,000. So you definitely want to make sure all of your finances are in order. Now, I know it's hard to get pre-approved if you're in a different state, but I promise you it is definitely worth your while. I have all the connections in the world. So if you guys need a lender, need someone to reach out to, definitely reach out and we can get the ball rolling and make sure this is the right fit for you. I have to interrupt this video real quick to share some exciting news with you. I have recently put together the Sonoma County Relocation Guide. I want to send you a free copy of this. Everything in here is everything you need to know about relocating to Sonoma County. I have all the secrets in there. So if you want a copy of that, go to the comment section below. I have pinned the comment. It's the very first link. All you got to do is let me know your email address and I will send this directly to you. It's also in the description box below. Another thing you want to know about purchasing in Sonoma County before you make the trip out here is do not wait for interest rates to come down before you make the move. And I have a story for you. I know I'm a real estate agent. You're probably thinking I'm always going to tell you to buy, which is absolutely not the case. But I'm going to give you an example of why you do not want to buy when rates are low versus buying when they're high. I've had some clients over the last couple of years, back in 2020, 2021, when the interest rates were really, really low. I had many people purchase homes in that time period. And they're in a position right now where it's a little different because back in 2020, 2021, when they bought, they had to compete. There was 15 offers on the table. We were writing offers $100,000 over the list price just to get an offer accepted because rates were so low and there were so many people pre-approved and there was so little inventory. So when homes hit the market that were selling in just a couple of days, I remember on numerous occasions, homes sold before they even hit the market at all. So back then, now they are locked into these low interest rates, but they paid more for the home than what the home is worth. So now the turnaround time to building equity and getting that money back out of the house, it's going to take a lot longer than someone who buys at the normal market rates, which is 5, 6, and 7%. Because buying a home during this time right now, there's really not a whole lot of competition because a lot of buyers simply can't afford a monthly mortgage at 5, 6, and 7%. So if you're thinking long-term strategy, waiting to buy a home when interest rates are at 3, 4, 5%. I don't know when that's going to be, but if you are going to be in a home for a long time, it's okay to wait for these interest rates to come down a little bit. Just expect you're going to pay a lot more for the home than probably what it's worth versus buying a home right now. Virtually no competition. We're seeing homes sell under asking. So don't get yourself in a position like a lot of my clients right now that bought homes then. Now we're reaching out and they're basically saying, Danny, I'm not happy with the house anymore. I want to upsize, I want to downsize, whatever the case is. And then we go to run the numbers and the home isn't really worth much more than what they bought it for back in 2020, 2021. So something to keep an eye on. There's pros and cons to buying homes when interest rates are high. Everyone's going to tell you to wait. The only problem with waiting is you're going to have to be in that house a lot longer to make sure you're recouping some of that equity. So something to think about. If you are really considering a move to Sonoma County, it should be on your mind every single day. You should be doing tons of research. I have people that reach out all the time that are interested in making a move here. We talk about some neighborhoods. They really don't understand the things I'm saying because they have not done the research. So I've had other people that are telling me the neighborhood specifically they want to live in because they've watched my videos or they've done other Google searches and they've really done a lot of research. So it's so important. Do the research on the areas you want to live in. Every city is so different here. Windsor is way different than Sebastopol. Sebastopol is way different than Sonoma. Sonoma is way different than Santa Rosa. So really do your homework, educate yourselves on the areas you want to live in, and you can dive in a step further and even go neighborhood by neighborhood. So really figure out, make a list on what's important to you in a home and in an area. Reach out to someone like myself and I can provide guidance for you and show you maybe some new areas that may fit your lifestyle as well. Another thing you want to make sure you're doing is having an established relationship with professionals in the fields you're going to need when it comes to relocating. So obviously a real estate agent, someone who specializes in relocation like myself is always a good thing. I have people that are hesitant to reach out because, they're like, Danny, I'm not going to be buying in 2, 3, 4 years. That does not matter. I would way rather you reach out sooner rather than later. I've had clients reach out to me, veteran clients who are like, hey, I got a, or active military clients that are like, hey, I'm being stationed in 3 weeks. I need a house tomorrow. No joke. I've actually had that happen before. So it's difficult when you wait till the last minute. It's much easier to establish a game plan early on, especially if we have some time to work with. So reach out to someone like myself. get a game plan together. That way, when it is time to make the move and things are all starting to come together, we have an established game plan. We know what we're doing and we're executing every single day. If you're relocating here from a different area, you want to do the research early. Start looking into moving companies. Is pods going to be something that's going to stand out to you, that's going to make your move easier? Do you need to schedule airfare? Like, where's all your furniture going? Do you have to have an estate sale? All of these sort of things you should be doing way early on in the process, because I promise rushing around and doing all of this is no fun at all. If you own a home either in California or in another state, you want to talk to your tax advisor before you rush out here and then you get a surprise tax bill later on down the road. That's never fun. So definitely talk to your trusted tax person before making the move out here, because every state operates a little bit differently when it comes to taxes. So talk to your tax person, see if it's going to cause you more problems than it will positives. And that's just always a good thing to do right before you make a move. Are you going to rent here or are you going to buy here? So the biggest question I get from people like you reaching out to me, Danny, does it make sense for me to rent? The average rent here in Sonoma County is right around $3,000. So making up a decision on whether you're going to rent for the long term or if you're going to own a home some point down the road, it really depends on a case-by-case basis for everyone thinking about relocating here. Some people are relocating here on a job assignment, so they're only going to be here for 1 to 3 years. Some people want to move here, they want to retire here, but they want to see what it's like a little bit before they end up purchasing a home, which I completely understand. I couldn't imagine purchasing a home right away in a completely different area without even living in the area first. So really weigh your options. Is it worth renting? Is it worth buying right away? Whatever makes the most sense for you. Obviously, someone who's going to be here for a longer period of time, like retirees, it makes more sense to purchase. But again, case-by-case basis. So really do your research. Tap in with the rental market here in Sonoma County. Look at some homes, weigh your options, look at lease agreements, look at all these sort of things, and really determine what makes the most sense for you. If you guys are enjoying this video so far, give me a like. It really helps me spread the word about my channel. Also, hit the subscribe button. I drop a video once a week, every single week, all having to do with living in Sonoma County. And of course, if you are getting serious about making a move out here, call me, text me, email me, whatever is most convenient for you. I can send you a link to a Zoom meeting so we can schedule a time, sit down for about 30 minutes and go over your wants and needs and see how I can help. All of those links are in the pinned comment and also in the description. Another thing to plan for if you are thinking about buying a home out here, put some money aside for home inspections. This is one of those things that gets kind of kicked under the rug. Oftentimes when people are talking about buying a home, they're telling you you need, 3 to 20% to put down on a house. Well, there's costs associated outside of that 3 to 20%. One of the biggest ones for buyers is home inspections. All of these come at a cost out of your pocket that you will have to pay for, and the money that you spend on these inspections during the escrow process, you do not get back. This is separate from your earnest money deposit and separate from your down payment. And also, there are inspections and also closing costs. So you want to put some money aside definitely for inspections and also closing costs as well, but that's a different story for another day. Let's focus on inspections right now. Each of these inspections, depending on the size of the house, can cost anywhere from $300 to $800 per inspection. The most common ones here in Sonoma County are a home inspection and a pest inspection. So those are the two big ones. Put some money aside, at least $1,000, again, depending on the size home you are thinking about buying, and keep that aside for when it does come time to buy. Shop for a moving company that you want to do business with. There are so many different moving companies out there, and when it comes to relocation, you really need someone who specializes in, let's say you're moving from a different state that does out-of-state relocation, because there's just so many different things that can go wrong when you're traveling, someone's luggage and home items across state lines. There's a lot of different things that can go wrong. What I found with these moving companies is prices. They vary so much in prices, and also the service that they are giving you. So you want to read the fine print on these moving companies. Again, like I was saying about home insurance companies, make a couple different phone calls, get a couple different quotes, and see what one makes the most sense for you. And that is going to wrap up today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give me a big like. It really helps out the channel, helps me spread the word of beautiful Sonoma County to so many other people. And also, if you enjoyed it, hit the subscribe button. I drop a video once a week, every single week, all having to do with living in Sonoma County. And if you have any real estate related questions at all, or you want to have a more in-depth conversation, I'd be happy to sit down and have a Zoom meeting with you. So give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email, whatever is most convenient for you, and we can set that up. Again, I hope you enjoyed this one, and we'll see you on the next one.